Jane is from the United Kingdom, and she works with an organisation called Refugees International Japan. She's in charge of it and the direction that it takes, and they help refugees with projects to help them live independent lives where their lives are valued, and where mostly they try to keep them very close to their home countries.
We support projects in many countries around the world. So we are based in Japan, but we support countries outside. So this is in tune with your week, which is global mindedness, right? You're here to learn about thinking globally. To think globally and to be part of the global system is very important for you. You learn from other people. You learn from different cultures. And every culture has something interesting and something that we can benefit from. And mixing those values is a very, very important thing. And we talked about learning. I am always learning. It's a long time since I went to school. I'm not telling you how many years, but it's a long, long time. But I'm still learning. And when I go to visit the projects that we support, I learn more and more every single time. And that's because I meet people who are strong, resilient, focused. They are looking towards the future. Somebody who's been forced out of their country.
Some people who are trying to escape out of their country when there's like war or conflict.
That's right, yes?
Refugees are people that flee out of their country because of violence, and they cannot return out of the country that they don't get permission.
Right, you're all correct. Refugees have had to leave their homes and their countries sometimes because of danger and violence. So they have moved to another part. Now some of them go to another country, some of them stay inside their country. But they have the same problems. There's no homes for them. They might have lost some of their family, so they are suffering a lot of loss and upset, and it's very tough. But they need to rebuild. They need to continue, and that's where they show their strength. They are not different from us. They want to do all those things too. They want to lead a normal life. Now, before the conflict or the danger, they had lives just like us. They had a home, they went to school, they had friends, they played, they danced, they sang, they entered into competitions, and all the things you talked about. They might not ski if they don't live in a snow country, but they might go swimming or something else. So they all have the same desires and hopes as we have. They are not a different person. They are the same as us, with the same desires and the same future aspirations in wanting to study and do better and get great jobs and go on to have families of their own. So this is what is really important, that we provide the opportunities for the refugees to do this. And that is our work. We raise funds here in Japan. Your school helps us do that. We raise money here, and we choose very good projects overseas to send that money to. So it could be education, it could be more schools in the camps, or opportunities if people are not in camps. Not all refugees are in camps. For those who are not in camps, maybe the project helps them go to school in the local schools where they're living. And other projects might be for older people to have further education, or for adults to start up jobs and businesses so that they can support their family, so that their family can go to school. So it's all about building. And you've lost everything. You've got nothing. As a refugee, you've got nothing. You had everything before, and you come to the point where you've lost it all. So you want to build it up. And that's why we call it support and not help, because the people will do it themselves. We don't do it for them. If they do it themselves, they will be stronger. If you think about your learning. If you're doing something and somebody does it for you, you're not learning anything, are you? You're not building your skills. You need to do it yourself so that you become better, more skilled, and as a result, stronger. And that's the same with the work we are supporting for refugees. There's a lot of ordinary things that people want to do. And they want to do things like you and I. But this problem of displacement affects many, many, many countries. And that's why it's important for us to understand what is going on in those countries and how people can make their lives better for themselves and be stronger. And you are a part of that. We are a part of the world, and learning from what's going on in other parts of the world makes us wiser, stronger, and able to adapt, to mix with different situations.
Is it true that refugees get treated differently?
Do refugees get treated differently from us?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Yes, yes, they do. Look, that's why I want to emphasize that refugees are like us. But unfortunately, not everybody thinks that. They think that they are coming here to take our homes, to take our jobs, to take our education. But it's not true. And what I'm showing you here is that what they want is opportunities. They don't want to come and take over from us. And also, as we talked about in the opening, they want to stay near home. They don't want to come to other places. But unfortunately, a lot of people are afraid of that, so they do treat them differently. And they don't treat them very well always. Has Syria produced the most refugees? At the moment, yes, Syria is producing the most refugees, but historically, that's all time, Afghanistan has produced the most refugees. But these days, there's two groups. There's the people who stay inside Syria, and there's the people who go outside. And at the moment, there's Syria has the most internal displacement. It's about 5 million. It's a lot of people. Is it possible that if agreements are made, we won't have war? Yes. I'd like to think it will happen soon. I don't think it will. I hate to be pessimistic. But yes, if we made agreements with people, there would be no war. That'd be a nice world. How many places do refugees stay? There are more than... It's difficult to figure that. There are more than 80 countries that host refugees, approximately. We have a map on the wall of the RIJ office which shows where all refugees are, and a lot of it is covered, so maybe more than 80. What are the main causes of war? Wealth, oil. Oil is a lot of the problem. Fighting for ideology. One group believes that a country should be run in this way, and another group believes a different way. So that is a reason for conflict. In Colombia, it was to do with the drug trade and oil, palm oil. So again, it was money and wealth. Land areas, claiming their ethnic land and so on for their people. Those, not the only reason, those are the main reasons. Well, actually, the other thing I must touch on, unfortunately, is religion. And sometimes there are religious reasons behind the conflicts and people not agreeing. And that's where work like you do in your school objectives, your philosophies, is very, very important to make people understand and work between their faiths. That's very, very important. This is a comment on the countries around Syria are afraid that the war is going to run over into their country if they receive refugees. That is a worry, but it also, if they do it carefully, it can be a help to them. In Jordan, they're now allowing refugees to work, and they're finding that when they do that, the refugees improve the local economy and make a valuable contribution. So actually, there's a lot to gain from including refugees. So Jordan is actually leading a good example there. How can we take action to support the refugees? You give us money. We love you to give us money. But you can also, while you're doing that, you can make more and more people understand that refugees are ordinary people, that refugees are important to the world in terms of rebuilding and rebuilding stronger societies. And as we rebuild stronger societies, they're going to be, we hope, more resilient to conflict. So the more we give refugees opportunities, the better. So your support can be through telling more people, through organising activities to understand what their life is and how they can build stronger societies. And then hopefully we get more money and then send that money to provide opportunities. And providing opportunities is what's so important. As I said earlier, we don't do it for them, they must do it themselves so that they become strong and they build the communities just like ours, which is a strong community. Why don't the rich countries help refugees? Well, they do. We can argue that some of them don't help enough, but they do help. They do send aid to support them. But the other argument is that they should also do more to stop the conflict. Because if you attack the root cause, then that will avoid more refugees. Can we continue?